Hi everyone, Tony Tonkin here again from Wise, Witty and Weird. And I don't know how witty we'll be today, but we certainly will endeavour to be extremely wise. And most of what I have to say here is pretty weird. But one of the things that came to mind today actually was an article in the Sydney Morning Herald, which talked about the difference between Jacinta Ardern and Gladys Berejiklian. And I was concerned, I guess, mainly because I'm a fan of Jacinta Ardern. I think she's absolutely amazing. And she's amazing because she, number one, she's a woman that's taken over a man's world in terms of politics in New Zealand. She's been on the Stephen Colbert show once, and Stephen travelled, or twice actually, and Colbert travelled to New Zealand to interview her and to do some really strange and odd things. And she's a personality. She's likeable. She's kind of good fun. She appears to be honest, and I think she's a really good person. So how does that differ then from Gladys? Well, firstly, I've never seen Gladys on the Stephen Colbert show, so I guess that probably says it all. Does she have an American following? I don't think so. I don't think we in Australia have trouble pronouncing the surname. I would imagine Americans would even have trouble pronouncing the word Gladys. But she has been proclaimed by the Sydney Morning Herald as somebody that we should take note of, because the Sydney Morning Herald has said that what she has been able to do in New South Wales is second to none and surpasses anything that has been done around the world. And I need to acknowledge that here in Australia, we've done exceptionally well in relation to maintaining and keeping the virus, COVID-19, under check. However, it needs to be noted that where I live, here in South Australia, we've done particularly well because we don't have any viruses present in our community, and of a population of, what are we now, 1.5, 2 million. We've been able to control the virus in this particular state to the point whereby few of us wear masks when we go out because there's just simply no need to. There's no virus travelling around in our community. Does that mean, therefore, that our particular Premier, whose name's Stephen Marshall, whether he should receive the same sort of accolades? Or is this just about a competition between two women? One woman, I believe, that is Ardern, is far superior than any other politician, male or female, because she is simply likeable. And she won the popular vote in New Zealand. They vote by proportional representation, but she won the popular vote in a landslide because she's exceptional. Does that mean that Berejiklian will win in a landslide if there's a poll in New South Wales? Who knows? And who cares? After all, it is only New South Wales. They have the largest population in Australia, granted, but they're so full of self-importance that sometimes wonder whether they need to be recognised as a state at all. And here we are, now making a comparison between the two, and the Herald goes into great detail about the wonderful things that Berejiklian has done, and has failed to acknowledge or even talk about the things that Ardern has done. However, I think that this is about a competition between New Zealand and Australia as opposed to who is the most likeable and best person. Ardern wins that hands down. After all, it is Berejiklian who did have an affair with one of her ministers and was compromised greatly in that matter. However, that particular issue is not considered in this particular reporting of the Sydney Morning Herald. So they seem to have overlooked perhaps something in terms of character that certainly has not been considered in relation to Ardern, primarily because Jacinta Ardern, who I think is not married but has a child, has taken that child, the first time ever anybody has taken a child to the United Nations, when she gave a speech, and the class and quality of Jacinta is far greater than the class and quality of Gladys. So my vote is, as always, with a New Zealander in this particular case. That's not always the case, but in this particular case, my vote is particularly favoured towards Jacinta. So as far as I'm concerned, Jacinta wins. Gladys, sorry you come second, third, fourth or fifth, because I don't think you've done all that a brilliant a job. And certainly when you compare the type of work that has been done by Daniel Andrews in Victoria, where admittedly a mistake had occurred and there was an outbreak, what Victorians have done has been absolutely outstanding given where they were. You have not had that same sense of challenge and opportunity, I guess, but at the end of the day, I don't think you get that Guernsey. Just want to thank everybody for watching this bit of Wise, Witty and Weird. And please, if you can, please make sure that you subscribe and that you ring the bell to let us know that you want to continue receiving these sorts of weird and wonderful conversations. So thanks very much for being with us, and I look forward to catching up with you next time on Wise, Witty and Weird.